Inside the latest Russia-Ukraine peace talks, after years of devastating conflict, Russia and Ukraine return to the negotiating table. But without their top leaders, can real peace be achieved? It's a headline that stirs both hope and hesitation. Russia and Ukraine are holding their first direct peace talks in 3 years. After more than 1,000 days of destruction, death, and displacement, the idea of negotiation offers a fragile glimpse of what peace might look like. But the optimism is muted, and for good reason. Neither Russian President Vladimir Putin nor Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is attending the talks, and that absence speaks volumes. A war that reached every corner. Since February 2022, the war between Russia and Ukraine has transformed the map of Eastern Europe and the consciousness of the world. What began as a full-scale invasion by Russia quickly escalated into a grinding, drawn-out war. Cities like Mariupol and Bakhmut became symbols of defiance and tragedy. Millions fled. Thousands died. Western support for Ukraine surged. Money, weapons, intelligence, and sanctions on Russia. But with each passing year, even as the headlines faded in some parts of the world, the human cost only climbed higher. Now, for the first time in 3 years, the two nations are sitting across from each other again. But peace remains a distant dream. Talks without titans. The decision by Putin and Zelenskyy to skip the talks is more than symbolic. It's a signal of the deep mistrust and political calculation still dominating both capitals. For Putin, direct engagement may be seen as legitimizing Ukraine's current demands, or revealing weakness at a time when Russia is trying to reassert its influence globally. For Zelenskyy, who has repeatedly insisted on the return of all occupied territories and justice for war crimes, sitting down with a Russian envoy rather than Putin himself may feel like a stall tactic. In a recent statement, Zelenskyy noted, "There can be no real progress until we look each other in the eye." So far, the negotiations are limited to what diplomats call exploratory conversations. Translation: gauging the room, not making decisions. What's on the table? The core issues remain unchanged. Territorial sovereignty. Ukraine wants full control over all its land, including Crimea and the eastern Donbas region. Security guarantees. Both sides want assurances, but on vastly different terms. War crimes and accountability. Ukraine insists on prosecution and justice. Russia refuses to admit wrongdoing. Reconstruction. Who will pay to rebuild Ukraine? The estimates top $500 billion. Add to that the involvement of third parties, NATO, the EU, the US, China, and you get a complex, high-stakes diplomatic puzzle. Even agreeing on language